Serving the internet.
Breaking news coming out of Twitter this morning. Fractional ad execs are in demand. Logan Roy lands a new TV deal. And USGA hopes to diversify. It's Tuesday, April 11th, 2023. Let's nerd out.
Nerds Podcast.
The Ad Nerds Podcast delivers ad industry news every weekday. We are the go-to source for people who spend money on advertising, covering big brands, small businesses, and the latest marketing trends. It's me, Spanky Moskowitz, the show's host and a nearly 40-year veteran of the ad industry. I've worked with Budweiser, M&M's, Frito-Lay, MLB, NFL, and NBA, and I've created over 100,000 ads, generating hundreds of billions in client sales. If you're in or interested in the world of advertising and want to stay up to date with the latest news, the Ad Nerds Podcast is the perfect place to start. And if I sound a little different today, that's because I am coming to you from Orlando, Florida all week long, where I'm on a consulting visit with a couple of my big Amazon brands. That's right, I will be here all week. Plus, the Home Depot vendor conference is happening, and I will be here meeting with a bunch of them and my other consulting clients. But let's talk about what's going on in the ad industry today. Breaking news coming from Bloomberg around 10 a.m. this morning, Eastern Time. Twitter Inc. is no longer an independent company after merging with a newly formed shell firm called X Corp, according to a document submitted in a California court. Now, this news raises some speculation about what Elon Musk plans to do to the social media platform he purchased for $44 billion last year. The billionaire has spoken about Twitter being an accelerant for creating X, which he dubbed an everything app, but it's unclear what the merger means for Twitter's future. Musk has been vague about how it's going to fit in with his sprawling business empire, which ranges from the electric car giant Tesla to Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, also SpaceX, which we like to call it. Musk tweeted about the move yesterday with a single character, X, but this only increased speculation. Twitter no longer has a team handling media inquiries, so getting answers is really difficult right now. So what does this mean for you as an advertiser if you're on the Twitter platform? Well, the fire sale of low-cost ads is still on, and it's heating up. Last check, the CPMs on Twitter were some of the lowest I could find on any platform. Hey there, Brian Cox fans. The actor best known for his role as Logan Roy on HBO's Succession is back with a new gig. He's landed the starring role in a new campaign for DirecTV as the overly direct spokesperson. In the new campaign, Brian Cox is taking his no-nonsense attitude and Logan Roy persona to the next level by being blunt with TV viewers. The campaign from TBWA Shy Day is all about reinforcing DirecTV's promise of entertainment without compromise while promoting its sports offerings, customer satisfaction ratings, and signal reliability. In one of the 30-second ads, Brian Cox yells, "You're doing TV all wrong," before throwing stuff off the table in frustration.
Let me be direct. You're doing TV wrong. You thought that other TV provider was good enough. Now what? You'll talk?
Come on, son, you got it.
You call this watching sports, do you?
When the dragon came in and was like,
Looks like they caught the finale. You can't even find the show.
The knight was helping him, totally.
You deserve better. So much in life is a compromise. But with number one customer satisfaction, DirecTV never is. Now, get out of here. The game's on.
But we live here.
Fascinating.
And in the 15-second spot, he warns that not having DirecTV could lead to uncomfortable situations like watching baseball at a weird neighbor's house. The campaign also highlights the nationwide availability of DirecTV's Gemini wireless connected device, which allows customers to watch 4K across their apps and provides an integrated Google Voice remote to search apps and eliminating the need to switch between TV inputs. DirecTV will continue to roll out additional creative in the weeks ahead. So if you're a small business and you don't have the budgets of a DirecTV to hire a guy like Logan Roy to be your spokesperson, what do? Well, let's talk first about parody ads. Parody ads tap into what's going on in pop culture, what's going on today in the news cycle, right? And so it's easy to create a parody ad if you've got a sense of humor or know a writer who can pull a parody ad together for you. But you could always use a local celebrity. That's right, there are TikTok celebs that are local. There are small business people locally that are celebrities in their own field. And you can collaborate with them to be the star of that parody. So, just because you don't have the big budget doesn't mean you can't do something similar to DirecTV, but for your business. By the way, you can see the ad and the entire story. I've got the link in the show notes. USGA is trying to diversify its appeal. How will they do it? I'll tell you right after the break.
The most nerdy. It's time for an Ad Nerds podcast.
Are you great at running your business? How about marketing it? If you're like most small business owners, you're not great at figuring out how to market it. But that's where Ad Zombies comes in. We help your business sell more. Ad Zombies writes ads, emails, web copy, sales pages, radio and video scripts. If it needs words, Ad Zombies has them. Go to adzombies.com today and use promo code NERDS to save 20%. Ad Zombies, words that sell anything for businesses anywhere.
Ad Nerds podcast. Ad Nerds podcast.
The United States Golf Association, USGA, has chosen MullenLowe and Carmichael Lynch Media as its new agencies to help grow the nonprofit and the sport. The two IPG agencies will help the 130-year-old organization connect with consumers and identify new fans. The USGA's total U.S. media spend, by the way, for 2022 was an estimated $8 million. So they've got some money to spend in the marketing space. MullenLowe's assignment goes beyond the championship campaign. Their strategic framework will tell the organization's story in a way that hasn't been told before and embrace a broader community. The contract came about after Lynn LaRocca, head of the brand and marketing section of USGA, put out an RFP to find an agency that can bring the organization's plans to life. MullenLowe will continue to evolve and define the current tagline of the USGA, for the good of the game. The first work for MullenLowe will come out in June, right before the U.S. Men's Open, with more work to promote the U.S. Women's Open at Pebble Beach in July. A quick opinion on this story: USGA should drop the entire tagline they currently have, as it's boring AF and it's focused inward, not outward, and it appears they're trying to move in an outward direction. Contextual targeting is making a big comeback in the ad world. Thomas Bremond, the Senior Vice President and Chief Revenue Officer at Freewheel International, says that data is becoming less useful and advertisers are starting to take notice. They're now turning to contextual targeting to help them reach their desired audiences.
Very interesting. In the past few months, I've heard contextual targeting more than I ever have, in the last sort of 10 years. There's a number of reasons for it. One, the technology is starting to become available for publishers to capture information that make it relevant in a contextual targeting perspective. So things like metadata or things like capturing context for the show render it possible, right? So now somebody could capture the mood of a particular news bulletin or a particular channel to decide whether they want to be advertising on that particular show or whether they don't want to be advertising on this show.
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Placing ads within a particular program can be challenging, especially when it comes to contextual targeting. Bremond suggests that combining first-party data, which I've talked about a couple of times over the last few weeks, with contextual targeting could be the secret sauce advertisers are looking for. You can see the entire 6-minute interview. If you want, just tap the link in the show notes. Hey, if you're looking for a part-time job and are a full-time marketing genius, I've got some great news for you. It's coming up next.
The most nerdy. It's time for an Ad Nerds podcast.
What can a kid teach you about spending $5 million? Watch a kid pack a great snowball. They squeeze out the fluff, pack it firm, tight, hard. Whether you spend $50 to advertise or $5 million, you should take this lesson to heart. The sales message you deliver has to be packed firm, tight, and hard. All of the fluff squeezed out of it. It can be the difference between a solid campaign that hits hard and sells and one that falls apart. Get Words That Sell Anything, the flagship copywriting course from Ad Zombies, and watch your words pack a punch. Go to learn.adzombies.com. Use promo code NERDS to save 20% on Words That Sell Anything today.
Ad Nerds Podcast.
Have you ever had a part-time job? Well, now is your chance. Brands and ad agencies are increasingly hiring fractional executives for part-time work, spanning roles beyond chief marketers, such as strategy heads, creative leads, chief diversity, equity, and inclusion officers. Companies typically hire fractional executives on a part-time basis for 6 months to 3 years to fill in gaps in their leadership. According to Tony Stanall, the president of industry recruiting firm Global Recruiters of Sarasota, the trend is due to a greater need for flexibility and speed, as companies can't staff up with full-time employees because of all the economic slowdowns. Fractional executives take on multiple roles at once and are considered an extension of the internal team. Although most in-demand fractional roles are chief marketing officers, and an increasing number of fractional strategy leads are also being sought. I can tell you as a side note that the number of calls I get for consulting and for being a CMO on a fractional basis have increased dramatically over the last 6 months. And so I can see where this trend is going and growing. The rise in fractional executives has been spurred by the high demand for talent to help provide strategic insights through heavy pitching periods, onboarding new clients, and big campaigns. Fractional roles work particularly well for the strategy discipline, as being able to assess what's going on in the outside world delivers better results than working inside a bubble. Fractional jobs, though, are not for everyone. They require executives to be okay with not having very clear directions. Assessing whether partnerships is right can also be a challenge for fractional executives, because they need to ensure they have a clear statement of work and deliverables and a mutual out clause if things don't go as planned. Well, I hope this show went as planned, as good as it can. That's the Ad Nerds Podcast for Tuesday, April 11th, 2023 from Orlando. Spanky out. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you tomorrow.